The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Greetings to our viewers and welcome to another session of The Girls Table. Joining us today to talk about one of my favorite topics in the world, marriage, is Samu, Sophie, Chrissy, and Faith. Now, women have been known to be fighting for marriage or wanting marriage more than men are. Is that the reality? So ladies, please introduce yourselves before we get into the topic of marriage today.
Okay, my name is Samgeliso, and then my friends usually call me Nosy.
Okay.
I think that's all I would love to know.
Hi guys, I'm Sophia. My friends call me Fia. Yeah, I'm 27.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi ladies, I'm Christopher and my friends call me Kissy. I'm 26.
My name is Faith and I'm happy to be on the program today.
All right, awesome. So first things first, I'd like to hear you guys' understanding of what marriage is. I mean, from what you've heard, from your socialization, well, what does marriage mean to you guys? What is it?
To me, it's just a union, guys. It's a union between two people. Well, in the traditional setting, it's a union between two families.
Families, yeah.
But then in my own view, it's a union between two people who feel that they love each other so much that they can stay with each other for the rest of their lives and build a home and a family, well, in the African context as well.
Mm-hmm. Faith?
Well, bringing it from the biblical, it is a union between two people where the man leaves his parents to be with his wife and they become one. And this is supposed to be a happy union where the two people grow, groom each other, and nurture their relationship.
Okay.
I agree with these two. It's a union of love, of a purpose of growing a family and uniting with another family. It's, yeah, the coming together of two people in their
All right. I assume you also agree with the ladies.
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
Because like in marriage, right, it can be driven by love, but at some point it can be driven by a situation. Like maybe let's say I get pregnant, then we're forced to get married. We're forced to get together with my partner, even if we didn't maybe plan to.
Mm-hmm.
Then that will be marriage. Mm-hmm. But then we are forced by circumstances and situations around us. Or
all right.
Or maybe societal pressures. We would say, like, okay, I now have a baby, so I now have to get married.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's only driven by love. It has so many pressures.
There's so many other implications. Yeah. Is it a must that people get married? Like, I remember growing up, like from when we were young, we just like, is it really imperative? Is it a requirement that as a woman you get married?
If my mom sees this, she will kill me. But no, no, I do not think it's a requirement. I think I have this belief that not everyone is meant to get married.
What does that mean?
It just means that some of us may, some of us won't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that life is. It doesn't mean that your life was not fulfilled, or you didn't have a happy life, or you didn't live life to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you missed one of the other, parts of life.
Of life.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, the other parts of life. or you just didn't want to get married?
Well, some people don't get
You
married
can go through
even
all
if they
the
want
phases
to.
in life, but then you just choose not to get married because you think marriage is not a solution for you, or is not the best thing for your life, or rather be a single parent or a spinster for the rest of your life.
All right, maybe before we get into whether or not, marriage is a must or a requirement, have you guys always wanted to get married? Like from when you were a young age? I know I've always wanted to walk down the aisle in a white dress, but now I think differently, of course. But have you guys always wanted to get married?
For me, no.
No.
It's not like, I think for me, marriage is not a priority. It's not like it's my dream.
Yeah.
It's not my dream.
How did you arrive at this decision? Has it always been like that?
Yeah, I think I've never admired. Maybe it's because of people I live. I've never admired. marriage, yeah. Even when I'm at a wedding.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, they're like,
feel
can we get to the food already?
Yeah, I support you, but
Yeah.
then it's not really my priority.
Why?
Mina. Okay. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But then Mina,
It's
my
just
dream.
nothing in you just says, Prince Charming, white dress.
Okay, Prince Charming, let's enjoy each other.
Outside marriage.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be.
We can enjoy each other
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
marriage.
yeah.
We can actually stay together without those white babies.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Faye, have you always wanted to get married? And why?
Well, to be honest, at some point, yes, but I'm not really pressured to get married. I don't. It's not something that
You don't
keeps
lose
me
sleep
awake
over
at
it,
night.
yeah.
No, I'm content. I sleep easier, actually. I have no pressure at all.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry.
Let's say to yourself,
I'm sorry. But when a guy comes
Uh-huh.
and just because you feel this is the guy doesn't mean the next thing we're thinking, okay, platinum ring or
Uh-huh.
white gold.
Mhm.
No, I mean, let's
Yeah, like if you're okay with it if it comes, but you're not seeking it out.
No.
Because we know there are women out there that are like, right, I need to meet 1, 2, 3 guys because I need to make this happen. You're not there.
no, I have other things
To do.
yeah.
Yeah, hon.
And
Okay, I'd love to hear you. Have you always wanted to get married?
no and yes. So when I was a kid, I never wanted to get married.
Uh-huh.
But then I'll tell myself I'll have a kid at 25, 26.
Uh-huh.
But then growing up, I realized that I don't want to die alone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have kids. I want to have a husband. I want to get married. I want it to be a special event. But then the thing is, I can never tell my life how it's going to end. I don't know the next day if I'm going to get married or not. But in my heart of hearts, I do want to get married at some point. Really, I do. And it pains me when I see people just... I'm not saying seek it. I'm not seeking it.
Uh-huh.
But I want to get married.
Yeah.
It's my wish, it's my prayer as well. But I'm not going to go around saying, guys, I'm here, marry me. I want to be with the so-called perfect man, if that exists. I want to be with someone who is a friend. I want to be with a partner whom I'll be happy with. Not someone I'll be just saying, oh, he's my husband, or where is he, somewhere there. No.
All right. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And have you always wanted to get married?
Well, I'll answer your question in a phase.
Yeah.
Like the phase that I've gone through.
Yeah.
When I was a child, I wanted a wedding.
Yeah.
And it's all I could ever dream of. Man, I don't know how many weddings I've planned in my head.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, and then it came to a point where I wanted to be a Mrs. Somebody, like a Mrs. Anybody. Just, in my early 20s, I just thought I need to get married. I was desperate. I don't know why, but I just felt that I can't be alone. I can't be alone. And then later, after like 23, 24, I was like, you know what, there's no point in rushing this. I do want to get married. I do want to have kids. I do
How
want
do
a
you get to
family.
that point of...
I think it's a point where you realize that marriage isn't as picture perfect as
they
we think.
make it out
Yes.
to be like
So-
chocolates and roses and balloons.
So I realized that, okay, so being married means now I'm responsible for another human being. Am I ready for that type of responsibility? I think that's when I started drawing back, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not so ready as I thought I was,
So what is this pressure that society puts on women to get married? Why do you think society puts so much pressure or attaches a certain value to a married woman that they don't attach to a single woman. I don't know whether you guys have encountered this. Like, Mrs. Banibani, you get to a place, they're like, oh, Bantu, but you get there and they're like, even if you're a graduate, even if you have your car, even if you make proper money, there's this value that is attached to a married woman that you won't have as a single woman. Where does that come from?
I think I've seen that.
You've seen
church.
that? Yeah.
In church.
In religious, yeah.
Like Kule's Kundla in the valley. Like they just, we don't just become the, I don't know, the deacons and everything. I'm not sure this with the church thing, but they appoint to married people.
Yeah.
If you're a couple, that's when you get that. If you're a married couple, that's when they appoint you to be deacon, to be what. But for single people, they don't. Which means I think they're actually looking down on single people. It's like Aula's tunes if you don't have a man or if you're not married. So I think
where does that come from? These tunes. I like that you brought that term about.
Yeah.
Let's say these tunes, yes, we are by being married that single people don't have. What is that? Is it cultural? Is it spiritual?
It's cultural. I think it's cultural. Like, I'm just gonna assume that unlike this century that we're living in, Gudala, it was a thing where you are born, you get through puberty before school. You get through puberty, and then the next thing that's there is marriage. That's how the society was Gudala in the 1600s and so forth before that. So I think that's what they looked forward to. Uthi vele, there wasn't saying I'm going to be a rich man and own houses. They didn't have all of that. It was just marriage was like the pinnacle, like the climax of your life. So maybe that's where it came from, and then it just stuck. It just stuck. I'm assuming.
For me, I think it's because of the biological clock. As much as we want to deny it, in our culture it's more dignified to have a child in marriage than have a child out of wedlock. You understand what I'm saying? So it's better off to be dignified in such a manner that you are married. Then the next step is, wow, little bundles of joy. You know what I'm saying? Then that on its own has some, I don't know what they call it, but then there's some respect for people like that. And then Mina, an ordinary Chrissy, comes and says, guess what, I'm having a child, or I want such a title, and I'm not a married woman, and I don't carry someone else's surname apparently. It's very difficult for me to get that post or something in the cultural sense. But then for me, I don't think we should base on that. For me, it's never about the name. It's never about. It's about my life with that person. It's not about, because to be honest, as you said, we'll be having wars at home. We'll be fighting day in and day out. We'll be happy at some point. We will be quarreling. We'll be arguing over why did you leave the toilet seat open and things like that. It's the little things that count. I don't want to continue staying with my parents in their house and be thinking, oh my God, no mama low for the rest of my life. She'll be gone. She'll be gone at some point.
Okay. So we're talking about pressure that comes from society. Is the pressure really coming from society, or as women, are we putting pressure on ourselves and on each other to get married?
Society does play a role in imposing pressure on individuals. And I think that's very wrong, because while you're busy putting pressure on me to get married, you have no idea what I want, or you will not listen to what I want. So I think the society needs to respect individuals, whether it's family or friends. You know, they cannot be responsible for exerting pressure on me to get married, because you have to know why I'm content with not being married at that particular time, and you have to understand my needs as well, right? Because you'd find some people end up getting married for all the wrong reasons, because they've been pressured to. You get into a relationship with somebody, you don't even like them that much, and at the end of the day you're married because there's
and
pressure.
You're like, as long as I'm wearing a ring, I'm good to go.
And once you start believing that when you're married you get respect, then that's wrong, because I can earn respect even when I'm not married. It doesn't mean that I'm not married, that means I'm flaunting around and all of that.
All right. So I hear all this, we're putting the blame on society. You spoke about how at some point you were like desperate and you're like, I need to get married? Was that from society or was that from yourself? Because we can't run away from the fact that sometimes as women, you're like, no one said anything to you. Your mother didn't say anything, but you're there like, I need to. Like,
I think it was a bit of both.
it was a bit of both.
It was a bit of, like...
No, but who from among us, sorry to cut you off, has had people like outright to your face say, Katike, how far?
All the time.
They do?
All the
to your
time.
face?
They
All
did.
the-
Actually,
Who are these people?
The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Who from among us, sorry to cut you off, has had people like outright to your face say, Katike, how far?
All the time.
They do?
All the
to your
time.
face?
They
All
did.
the-
Actually,
Who are these people? Your friends, your
For
family?
me, it was a family member.
Yeah.
And they recently tried it again.
No, they will tell you that now you have a degree. Then,
Not
Okay,
even a
okay,
degree.
yeah.
I had finished A level.
Wow.
Literally, I had finished A level, and this relative of mine literally came to my face and was like, "You know, so and so will get married first, and when uzasala." I'm like, okay. And then later he did that for
Uzasala
days
ngwa?
on end.
Because it's
For days on end. And then one day I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I confronted him. I was like, if you're going to continue doing this,
yeah.
we'll come to a point me and you will never get to an understanding.
Yeah.
And then recently, he did the same thing. He saw my niece at a restaurant with her boyfriend, and he's like, "So your niece will get married before you. You should get married." I was like, "You know what? It's not even a competition."
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something ill, and I decided, you know what? I'll keep it at that. It's not a competition. I want to get married. I pressured myself as Sophie did at some point. I did that. I'll sit in my room and think, "Oh my God, I really need to get married. Like this." This needs to happen.
And you think yourself into a frenzy, like,
Yeah.
I need it.
I really need it.
Like you lose sleep.
But
And you're
yeah, the
like,
weird
how
thing
do I
is-
make this happen?
Yeah, but the weird thing is, I never knew the reason why I wanted to get married. I never knew that. And then when you sit down with yourself and then start thinking through, you'll be like, okay,
But I'm not
so
ready.
why do
Yeah.
I really want to get married? It's already a hassle to take care of myself. What about the next person?
All right. I think we're going to also talk about how married women treat you. Do any of you guys have a friend that was single then is now married and how they? Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's talk about this word that I'm still struggling with. Marriage material. Yini, what is it? And marriage.
Anyone promising you to get married so they can tell us what business?
I need to know, is it
material.
cotton?
And does it apply to both men and women? Because I feel like the word marriage material is always imposed on a woman more than it is a
Do
man.
men even care about getting married? Or it's
I
just us
think they
pressuring ourselves?
do. I
They
think they
do,
do.
but they do not have pressure like
Yes.
women. You know,
Because men can actually get married. Like, okay,
At 60,
society
they don't
believes
care.
that men can get married at any age, but still now we think things really is
The window will
But then
close
it
at
makes
some
sense.
point.
It
You're
makes-
running
for me,
away
it
from my
makes-
question.
Oh,
It's
yes.
marriage material. What is it? A person that's marriage material, what qualities do they possess?
So
They're
I have-
good with chores. Perfect with chores.
Uh-huh.
Kaso villa, they wake up like at 4 a.m. or something weird like that.
Something weird like that.
They
Cry
speak,
on joy.
they speak well.
And
What's speaking well?
They have to cook well.
Like
you know, yes, kahleke, sithi kwa kwa kwa, you know, they love, you know,
uzigoqile. Dressing as well.
yes, they wear long dresses and
Really?
cover everything, you know. They don't have wild hair like mine. They don't use makeup like, you know.
Is that even like possible to have all those qualities?
I don't think
That's
so.
what you should have. You guys want to get married, so.
But then
Okay, I'd like to hear from Faith. What is marriage material?
Well, I think this is something that we just have come up with the gule marriage material. But I think anyone is marriage type, not marriage material. Because when we say material now, we're kind of classifying it. If Faith can't cook, then she's not marriage material. If Faith, amadola ke engasubukanga, like, you know.
Engekho mnyama.
Exactly. Then, oh my goodness, she cannot clean the floor.
Or if your hands are too soft, they're like,
Then,
just hide
yeah.
Yeah.
And then people will be just looking at you, you know, sizing you and weighing you from head to toe with, oh, but look at her hair. I don't think she'll have time to put on a duke and all of that. And I think this is so wrong.
Okay, so are men imposing on us these marriage material standards, or are we doing that by ourselves? Because you'll find when us women meet a girl that can't cook and we're like, like, is it really men, or are we also
I think it's mostly women, and then the men now, because they grew up being told that.
by those women?
Yes. So they also believe it now. Because my father has never, ever spoken to me about saying you can't cook, so you won't be a good wife, or you wake up late. He's never mentioned those things to me.
Can I please ask? I mean, I remember people having this conversation on Twitter, and I'm like, my word. Are you saying a woman that cannot cook, that cannot clean, that cannot dress a certain way should not be married and is not married material?
There's nothing like that. And there's, for me, my thoughts right now, it's not even, everyone's eligible for marriage. You understand? As long as you're above age. You're not 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
Please, let's not promote any
Not
marriage.
promoting child marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying everyone is eligible for marriage. Whether, okay, I don't want to say names, but if you have various things that you do that doesn't entice the next person, it doesn't mean also if you won't like them. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you won't like them.
So what it's about is getting a person that accepts
Except
what
so
you have to offer.
Who you are and what you have to offer.
All right. So let me ask this: do men have men or marriage material? What kind of a man is marriage material?
Hey.
Do we even know?
I think with men, you marry anything.
Supposed to be compatible or something?
I'm sure I once posted something like that on Twitter, and I was like, as long as he can breathe,
Then you can marry.
as long as he can breathe.
Come on, I think this is where we will end up coming up with this high percentage of divorce cases.
Yeah,
true.
Because now you just think, oh, as long as he's a man, then I'm just going to be married to that.
That's why we date. Date hundreds of people, it doesn't matter, just date, guys. Date.
Okay, so where do these double standards come from? Where women will be held to a certain standard when it comes to marriage material, but men are not held to the same standard. Where does it come from?
Tradition and modern society.
Patriarchy.
Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Can you please unpack that a little bit?
Well, we come from this culture where everything we do in our lives is to please a man.
Mm-hmm.
You may do it unconsciously, you may do it consciously. You are trying to please some man at some point.
Samu said something about pick me mentality. Like we are going out of our way. I remember saying to her, "Ngang pegulute, let's try to mabele the other day," and I'm like, my man needs to see this. I'm going out. Like, yeah. So aren't we putting this pressure on ourselves?
We are.
Yeah. We definitely are. As I said, Sophie went through it. I went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how many more other women or ladies have gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
Really. And then imagine, abangafuna ukuchata. At some point, uyayofika engqondweni nje uyipressure ngkhona ukuthi alapha ndoda kodwa ngiyafisa ukuthi, you know, it's not like it's we can't avoid it. It comes, it goes. We put pressure on ourselves. That pick me mentality is what do they call it? Self what? something to do with self. But then, yeah, I think it's umuntu uyabezikhayela phansi to a point yokuthi uyabusubona ngani, you know, you're not okay. This is the other thing that I learned recently. We get married because we want to be fulfilled. Can't you be like fulfilled by your own person, and then you just get someone to complement the person that you are, someone who will be your support, not even support system, like someone who is there for you. Not ukuthi kuthiwa useyakufulfill, because that's the other reason that we force ourselves into getting married. That's the other reason we pressure ourselves into getting married, because we feel ukuthi I need someone who fulfills me. Nxa labafundisi bethu mayele emtshadweni kuthiwa usugcwelisisiwe ngenxa yokuthi usuthole ongowakho. Really, there's nothing like that. Uzelwe ugcwele as a person that you are. Appreciate and acknowledge the person that you are, so that you get a partner. But then if you don't, which I am still going to talk to you about that, we need to have a real conversation. Marriage.
But you know, biblically,
why not?
No, we can't entertain that. For me, in my mind, we really can't entertain.
But don't you think that's the problem?
No, I'm not forcing her into marriage.
Yeah.
I'm talking at your option is right now. You know, you have an option of actually getting married.
I just want to understand, like, where it stemmed from.
Yeah.
Where you come to a decision, you say, I don't want this.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. I think if I heard what she was saying, which I think it's a conversation that we need to start having, because in the first world, it's a thing now, partnerships and not marriage. She's not saying she doesn't want a man. She doesn't want a partner. But what she says is she doesn't want it under the auspices of marriage. So our partnerships, a conversation that we need to start having.
Oprah Winfrey, my friends. We will never be Oprah Winfrey.
Honestly, I think, okay, but I sort of concur.
Yeah.
We should start. My pastor and my mother will kill me. The thing here is, people are getting married for the wrong reasons. You're rich, so I want your money, I'm going to marry you. Or this child marriage, I'm pregnant, and so you get into this contract that most people don't even know this contract that they get into. And then you're under this contract, it's called chapter what? 5.1?
Yeah.
And then you're in there, you want out. Now you can't go out because tradition, the law, the church is all forcing you to stay in.
Yeah.
So I think like the first world opted for the simple thing where we're together, our love binds us, that's enough.
That's
You know, it's
There are
easier.
At times of passion.
marriage is overrated.
Yeah.
Especially on our side. Because now I think like people treat it like an achievement. To me, marriage is not an achievement.
No.
Like I won't
It shouldn't
be. It won't be. It will never be an achievement.
But then my
it's
thought
something
is
that can happen. I don't deny that I might get married.
Hallelujah.
But then it's
the Lord is
it's
saying.
not like I will have sleepless nights which like I'm not married or what. It's not my priority. It's not but I don't classify it under achievement.
that.
It's not
This is the funny part of it. You might get married to Kalagula to
Yeah.
Exactly. Because that's
I have
how.
a friend who actually did that when in first year in university. She'll be like, I'm not getting married, but she's getting married this year. And she was the only one in my class who was like, really, marriage is not a priority. But now she's the first one to get married in the whole class. So I'm just saying, Gucci, this will be the shocking thing, but we still have to have that talk.
to me it's not an options.
All right. Let's come back. We spoke earlier in passing about the conversation between married women and single women and what that conversation is like. And I also want to hear from you guys. Are we getting enough information from married people about the reality of a marriage? I mean, stats were released by the Bulawayo High Court about how between January 2018 and December, 820 couples had filed for divorce.
Wow.
820.
Oh, you see?
That's a great number. So are people really telling us the reality about marriage, or they're making us think, Puguti, it's this wonderful? I mean, it is, but are we having enough conversation about what to expect in marriage between us women, men, our elders, and so forth?
Because this is a topic for another day. I'll say this in short. I think it's because we do not know. They don't tell us because they do not want us to know that why they're divorced in the first place. We're all invited to the wedding, but we're not all invited to the divorce. And the truth of
You want to be invited?
yes, we have to know.
You know how on social media now they're like, if you tell us you're in a relationship, you need to tell us when
You're broken up.
What happened? Faith, what do you think?
Well, I feel sometimes there are some couples, married people, who talk about
We'll talk about it.
Yes, we talk about the negatives and the positives. And I think it's quite good that they do mention the negatives. You know, you always know. We should all expect that marriage isn't a bed of roses, right? And even if it were, roses have thorns, right? You expect to get pricked at some point. So I think when you get married, it's about being able to withstand whatever challenges, because in the world we live in, there are challenges. But then today, because you know you're learned, you believe you can stand on your own. You think once someone says something wrong to you, you're like, I need a divorce, I want a divorce, and then I think this is why we have a high rate of divorces. But marriage isn't always happy. The ups and downs.
I think I was so fortunate that like I had a friend who was married and then she divorced. She was sharing everything with me. So maybe
that's why, she's the only one that's enlightened. She knows.
But what if it's also one-sided? Have you ever considered to listening to the other partner of that
fortunately they were
relationship?
both my friends.
But they
So
both
I know
tell
their
you
story.
their
Yeah,
story.
I
Because
both-
that's
I
the
know
one
their
thing that we
story.
suffer from. We're told one-sided stories, and then we end up being stuck so much onto them. Like if someone tells you what marriage is so perfect, you stick to it. And then omunye ngapha yena ephana yakhe sithi yayinthwele nzima.
All right, ladies, I think this conversation could take all day, and I wish we had more time to talk about this. But I want you guys to take this opportunity to speak to our listeners about your thoughts on marriage and how you think in the 21st century, in 2019, we should be approaching the issue of marriage. I'll start with you.
Well, I believe that when it
Briefly.
when it comes, let it. And if it doesn't,
it's still
then
okay.
don't beat yourself about it. There's always life, and life is good, and you should enjoy it. And for those who believe, who really desperately want to get married, it's okay. But you have to learn that you need to nurture your relationship. You need to groom each other. You need to grow in your love before you get married, because it is one thing to get married to somebody that you don't love and then realize later you don't love them, because it is one of the most painful thing and regrettable things that you will have to live with. So take your time.
All right.
It's not a competition, guys. It's never a competition. So
Sure.
if someone else is getting married on social media today and they post their lovely pictures because they got a professional photographer, it doesn't mean Uguti behind the scenes everything was okay. And it's not, everything is not picture perfect. So marriage, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Embrace what you have, acknowledge what you have, and you want to get married that much, start focusing on yourself more, because what matters in marriage is you as an individual as well. You come as an individual. So yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say that at the end of the day, you have to deal with your peace, your peace of mind, your peace of heart. And if every single night you go to bed and you are crying because of that person you say you're married to, or you go to bed crying because so and so is married, then it's not worth it. At the end of the day, just wait for peace. If you have the peace outside of marriage or inside of marriage, just do you. Yeah.
Now I would say like don't be under pressure. Marriage is not an achievement. So I don't see a need of prioritizing getting married and all. And marriage is something that can happen, and we, among other things, like just
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Definitely
Marriage
icing on
is
the
one
cake.
of those things. So don't feel pressured.
So there you have it. The ladies have spoken. You want to get married? Great. You don't want to get married? Great. Just make sure the decision that you make is an informed decision. Different strokes for different folks. And that is it for the Girls Table today. Let us meet next week. My name is Shengwe, and I'm out.